Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. Yeah, I've been in bed for the last 3 days. I got sick at Christmas dinner, or after Christmas dinner. So this video was done probably a week ago, maybe, and I'm just going to do the voiceover now on New Year's Day, and just starting to paint my last of the three Amigos here. Doing some patchwork on the front battery boxes there. If you look up 4028 on Railroad Picture Archives, you can see exactly what I'm going for here. So you see now I'm mixing up some paint on my palette here. These are Pabio pens from Michaels. They're really liquidy kind of acrylic pens. Um, I like to use them for graffiti, and I use a really fine brush as well. Right now I'm doing the pink, the light blue, and the red just to kind of get this kind of primer color. But I recommend those pens. They're really good. You just dab out a bit of paint every time you want to use them, and really easy to mix colors with. So yeah, again, that's Michael's. And if you use the code, you can get 30% off or 40% off sometimes. So as you just saw, most of this detail painting requires very little paint. I usually like to get directly from the craft paint or directly from my Pabio dabbers. I am not plopping out quite a bit of paint on a palette at all. Stuff dries up. I'll just go back to the actual bottle there and get fresh paint. Maybe put a bit of water on it just to make it a bit more viscous or reduce the viscosity of it, I guess is the correct term. But yeah, that's how I paint. Okay, this is where I'm starting to do the rust. So initially I'll start off with the light rust mix on my palette and just do underneath the battery boxes. And then I'll follow on adding some more red right now and some black. And this is getting the floorboards in front of the engineer's door or the conductor's door, whichever one it is. Those floorboards there have a lot of rust on them. Um, and so I end up having lots of different tones of rust on my palette at the same time, which means I can go around and pick off rust at different stages throughout the model. So now I'm picking off the stacks there. Now, if you look at the pictures of 4028, this is not the right color, but it doesn't really matter because it's just a base coat anyway. So here, Rapido did a nice job on this model. However, the stacks looked a bit fakey to me. There's no depth in the actual stack itself, and so I drilled out the holes myself just to give it a bit of give it some depth because there isn't any. And I'll fill that in with a jet black paint as well to make it look even deeper. So yeah, every model needs a little bit of work. This is pretty much the only modification I did. I didn't tell the owner, but I hope he approves. He's not too upset at me drilling into his brand new model. Anyway, I'll have to see what he thinks about that. It's done. I can't remove it. Okay, here I'm just following up with some more reddish rust, reddy brown. Um, this just adds a bit more depth to each one of the rust patches, and some of the stuff on the long hood was actually the red rust anyway. There wasn't really much fresh rust. So yeah, that's just going over the entire model here with this color. Well, I finally figured out how to do a musical track on top of my videos, and thanks for Bill for pushing me to do that. That was a bit of fun to figure that out. Yeah, so continuing on, just picking out more rust dots throughout the short hood here, and I'll go throughout the entire body here, just going through with this black brown mixture. Okay, here's where I get the oils out. I'm using a mixture of lamp black and burnt umber from Winsor and Newton. These are the water mixable oils. They're fantastic. So what I'm going to do is the panel lining on basically the entire engine, around the doors, all the cab doors, all the side hood doors, long hood doors, everything. So I actually spent half an hour doing this. I'm going to speed it up, of course, but get a nice wet mixture. Get two brushes, one to wet the model down. So right now the red brush is wetting the model down, and the blue brush is my lining brush, very thin, and that's what's going to actually apply the oil. And then have a Q-tip, damp Q-tip handy if you have any overflow or any areas where the oil gets you don't want it to go. Okay, so I'm going to speed things up. So one of the good things about spending time doing all these little detailed painting things is each time you look at the prototype photos, you pick out something else that you may have missed earlier on. So in this case, noticing that one of the lights here was actually had a red cover plate on it, and then the other one, neither of them were silver, by the way. One was red, and the other one was kind of like a golden brass color. So right now I'm going in with it was a gold yellow. I think it was like a buff mix that I made to cover this other light bezel. So yeah, just weird, unique things that you pick up from the photos as you go through this process. All in all, I believe I spent an hour and 40 minutes just doing the paintbrush work on this, and then probably another hour and a half doing the airbrushing. Um, Airbrushing's coming up fairly soon, so hopefully you guys stick with me. Again, just noticed that one of these latches for the doors was brand new, so painting that silver. And it looks like they got new bolts on the bearing housings, so they were all silver as well. So picked off 24 of these bolts, and there we go.